There we go. Awesome. Welcome, guys. I am so pumped that you guys are here tonight. The first thing I want to do is congratulate you because you made the first step. The first step of deciding, hey, I see the income opportunity that there is here with Plexus, and I want to take a look at this. The first step to say, hey, I'm going to try this. I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to do the scary thing and I'm going to try this. And so the first thing I want you to hear from me is that I am proud of you for doing that. I truly think sometimes the first step is the scariest step. I know for me, like that was definitely the case, right? Like coming out and saying like, I'm going to do this felt really scary at the time. And I look back at that now and I'm just so thankful that I did it. So thankful that I did it. So the very first thing I want you to hear come out of my mouth tonight is that I am proud of you guys for taking this step and for saying that you want to do this. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Meredith Brocklebank. And about 7.5 years ago, I was in your shoes. I was looking at an opportunity that I had heard people talk about. I had heard the stories of success. I had tried a sample of the product and knew that I liked the way that I felt. But more than anything, I knew that I felt stuck with the way that my life currently was. And I didn't want to be stuck anymore. I didn't want to argue with my husband over a $25 haircut. I didn't want to spend 50 to 60 hours a week away from my baby. I didn't want to spend every single Sunday afternoon with the like Sunday scaries, anxious about the week that was ahead of me, right? I did not want to live for the weekend. I didn't want to live for vacations. I didn't want to live for the summer. I didn't want to be stuck. I was a high school math teacher. I loved teaching. Truly, I loved teaching. But after I had my first baby, I felt the Lord call me into something different. I didn't know that Plexus is what he was calling me to, but Plexus is what he was calling me to. He showed me a way to use my education training, my leadership training, to educate people on something different, to train people on something different that still makes a very, very tangible difference in their daily life. And so here I am, 7.5 years later. I have long quit my job. I actually quit my job about 9 months into my Plexus journey. My husband has also quit his job, and we are now both home full time. Plexus is our full time gig. There is no secret trust fund. This is it. So if you're wondering if you can make a real meaningful income from Plexus, we live south of Nashville, Tennessee, and we have 4 children, and Plexus is our only source of income. So that right there should tell you quite a bit about what this opportunity can do for you if that's what you want. Tonight is not going to be a bunch of stories about how awesome this opportunity has been for all of us. I'm sure you'll hear some of that sprinkled in. But what we really want tonight to be for you guys is okay, now what? Right? I've said yes. I've said that I want to try this. I said that I want to make an income with Plexus. What do I do now? Right? That is what we want this to be for you. And so I asked 3 of my customers turned best friends to join me tonight and just share a little bit of those very first steps of where do I begin now that I've decided that I want to do this. Okay. And so Lena is going to kick it off and share a little bit about the very first step, which is 100% going to surprise you. It's not going to be what you think it is. So spoiler alert, get ready to be shocked. Lena, share a little bit with us about what we really feel like is the very first step when you decide that you want to share Plexus.
So like Meredith said, it's not the post, it's not the messaging, it's your why. Like, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to be a part of this community? Why do you want to share with other people? Because it's scary, right? Like taking that initial step out there and sharing with other people, it's scary. So you have to have a why that's deep seated inside of yourself. And so for a lot of people, we start with like the surface level why, like, I want to make money. I want to get my products paid for. And that's a great why. Like, that is a great way to propel you to get to silver, senior silver, right? And so, like, I want you to think to yourself right now, like, what is your why? Why are you willing to put yourself out there on the line to do this? My why was very simple. I wanted to get my products paid for initially. I wanted to be able to have extra income for my family. And that got me so far. But y'all, like your why is so deep. It's so passionate. It's so powerful. And so figuring out what that is going to make you want to do the things that are scary. It's going to make you want to post. It's going to make you want to message people because it's worth that risk to you because it's such an important why for you. We went through a training last night with our Growing to Gold community and went through like 7 layers deep of your why. Ultimately, my deep-seated why is because I want everyone to know that nothing is impossible with God. And so like dig deep and figure out like what it is, what's making you want to do this. It may just be, I need some extra money. I need my products paid for. And that's a great first step. That's going to make you want to post. It's going to make you want to share because you want other people to learn about these products. You want other people to have the income that you're going to have. You want other people to be a part of this community that we're creating. And so that's a little bit about our first step. Like, why do you want to do this? And think about that, write that down, keep it somewhere where you like can look back on it because it's going to keep you focused on doing the everyday things that need to get done in order to help you get to where you want to go.
Thank you, Lena. Yes, absolutely. And she's totally right. Your why is going to change. I started like Lena, I just had to cover the cost of the products. I loved how I felt. And there literally was no wiggle room in our budget. So, like, if I couldn't cover the cost of the products, I couldn't keep taking them. And I didn't want to have to stop taking them. Right. That quickly morphed for me into I wanted to be home with my baby. Right. And so that was a strong, powerful, motivating why. So that when it was kind of scary to post sometimes, I did it. When I was tired because I had had a long week and I had had lots of grading, I still made the time to move the needle forward. I still made the time to reach out to some friends. I still made the time to grow, right? To read a professional development book, to watch a YouTube video, to listen to a podcast, because I knew that this was going to be the vehicle that was going to get me where I wanted to go. It starts, I know this sounds crazy, but it starts with you and your reflection and your why. And so our first challenge for you tonight is to commit to taking some time to really thinking about and praying about why is it that you want to do this. Have a conversation with, we call them your stakeholders, right? Your spouse or the people that are in your life, right? If your children are old enough to have that conversation, if you're not married but you've got a roommate or a best friend that you're really doing life with, right? Like, have the conversation with the people that know you best and talk about like, what do you want out of life, right? That is actually step one. Now, step 2 and 3 kind of merge together. And this is going to be all about starting conversations and opening doors. And so I asked Erin if she would share a little bit about step 2.
Okay. This is probably something that you expected to hear tonight. Okay. Because maybe this is how you heard about Plexus. And that's probably from seeing a post on social media that your friend who introduced you to Plexus, maybe that's how you initially heard about Plexus, right? Like you saw something they posted about, you heard them share their story on Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform. So sometimes this is the scary part, right? Because I don't know if you're somebody who is not used to posting on social media. Maybe you're one of those people who just sits and scrolls and you observe and you watch. And you are not one of those people who just naturally wants to just share their life on social media. That was not me. Okay. That was not me. I was already showing up on social media. I was already sharing stories and like going live on Facebook and all of those things. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter what level you're currently at with making posts on social media. It doesn't matter. What matters is you taking that why that you're going to like investigate, right? And you're going to figure out why you're doing this. And that is going to get you really excited because that is going to help you see like what type of impact you're going to make with this, right? Like what kind of person you're going to be looking for to help. It's going to make you start thinking about the people in your life who you really think could be blessed by the products or the income themselves, right? And so that is going to create some excitement. And here's the thing. since you're wanting to do this, how do you, if I am gonna go shopping, right? Like walking down the street, shopping at some cute little boutique stores on a square, like, how do I know that that shop is open? They got their sign turned around that says open, right? Otherwise, we may not know if the store is open. One way that you can show that you're open for business is, there we go, confetti. You can make a post, and it doesn't even have to be anything like crazy. Like, your person who is helping you, your sponsor, your coach, whatever you want to call them, they're going to help you. They're going to help you write a post. We have some formats that we can even give you if you're just like, I don't even know where to start and you're feeling kind of paralyzed. We have some formats we can give you that you can kind of tweak or put your own little information in about how the products are helping you, or how you're looking forward to them helping you, that sort of thing, to just make the first post. So we start there. And then guess what? It's not just about posting about Plexus, right? Because how many of you want to go to somebody's Facebook page and all you see is Plexus? Let me see. Oh, shocker. No one's raising their hand. So, not surprised by that at all, right? We don't want to see people posting about Plexus nonstop. I literally, before I started using Plexus, I had friends who did Plexus way long ago that I literally would say, oh my gosh, if I see her post about that stupid Plexus stuff one more time, I'm going to unfriend her. I'm going to unfriend her on Facebook because it was annoying. Nobody wants to be the spammy, like, Plexus girl. We don't want to puke Plexus all over our social media, right? Because people don't come to social media. They don't go to your Facebook to learn about Plexus. They go to learn about you, right? And to see what's going on in your life. And so it's equally as important for you to just show up and share your life on your social media as it is to talk about Plexus and how the products are helping you or helping people that you know, right? So think about it like that. It doesn't have to be a scary thing. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to, turn yourself into this mega influencer, anything like that. In fact, those people honestly aren't really making that much money right now, if you didn't know. So the two things that people look for when there's the balloons, I don't know how I always do this. Two things that people look for when they're looking to make a purchase from someone on social media: authenticity and relatability. Those are actually the two things. So if you show up as you, because guess what? Your friends are Facebook friends with you because they like you, right? They don't want you pretending to be Meredith and using her words. They want to hear your voice because they're friends with you. They trust you. And if you're relatable, because how many of us like to follow the people on Instagram or whatever who have this seemingly perfect life, right? But I can't relate to those people at all. People are actually becoming less and less interested in people who show up on social media like that, who portray this, my life is perfect and is, like, looks a certain way, and oh, my house is always clean, all that, blah, blah, blah. I don't care what you say. Ain't nobody's house always that clean. So when you show up and you just be you, that's when people are going to look at you and they're going to see what you got going on over there. And they're going to be like, oh, dang, Tammy, what's Tammy doing over there? I haven't seen Tammy posting this much in ever, maybe a long time. Wonder what she's got going on. And so they're going to start watching and seeing what you're doing. And then you're going to post your Plexus post and they're going to be like, I know Tammy. I like Tammy. Tammy's my friend. I trust her. Maybe I might check out this little Plexus stuff she's doing over there. And you never know. You might hear from people who you never thought of that may be interested in giving Plexus a try. because they saw you showing up on your social media in a totally different way than you've done. So I know this can be scary. And if you're somebody who wants like more training on how to do things on social media, if you don't know how to share stories, or going live feels really scary and you just want a friend there too, like talk to your sponsor, talk to the person that's helping you. This is what we do. We're here to help coach you through all of it and teach you what to do. So I believe in you. I can't wait to see y'all's posts. Okay. I'm going to be going and friending all of you on here who I'm not friends with yet, or y'all go find me and I'm going to come and comment on your post. So look me up. I believe in you.
Thank you, Erin. I love that. And I asked Erin because Erin was someone who was sharing on social media before Plexus. I was not. Like, I basically posted on social media like when we got pregnant and when we had a baby, right? Like, I was not the big social media sharer. And so I had to learn in that area. And y'all, here's the reality. Social media is always changing. So we're always learning in that area. I'm still learning and growing in that area 7.5 years in, like making a full-time income, still learning and growing in that area. But I want to speak to this for just a second, because I know some of you might be thinking, well, why do we have to use social media? And the reality of it is you don't have to use social media. You don't. I have lots of people that have been very successful, like talking to people face to face, getting on the phone with people, word of mouth, right? But the reality of it is that like most of us don't come into contact with hundreds of people on a daily basis. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom who homeschools my 4 children. Like, last week we had snow and I didn't leave the house once, and that wasn't even super weird for me to not leave the house, right? Like, I'm definitely not coming into contact with hundreds of people every single day. But when I share on social media, I'm able to come into contact with way more people, which means I'm able to help and impact and add value to way more people. Okay. The 3 people that are sharing tonight, I didn't know Erin. I met her through social media. I didn't know Lena. I met her through social media. And Janelle, my bestie Janelle that's about to share, her and I met at church camp when we were 16, but had not really stayed in touch until we reconnected through social media for the purpose of Plexus. Like, that was what really brought all of these people into my life on a deeper level, where they truly are now my best friends. And so when we talk to you about like utilizing social media, that's why, because you are going to be able to come into contact with so many more people that way, which means you're going to be able to help and serve so many more people that way. So posting is a part of what we do. But like Erin said, honestly, I think your personal posts, the ones that don't say a daggum thing about the pink drink, are going to be just as important, if not more important, as the ones where you do share about the pink drink, because that's where you show people who you are and you build trust with people when you do that. So we're going to talk a little bit about all of this. I'm going to wrap it all up for us in a minute, but I want you to hear from one more person. I already said it was my bestie, Janelle. We met when we were 16 at church camp. And she's going to share with you about kind of the sister to posting, right? Posting is a key part of this. But the reality of it is, posting alone is probably not going to do it for you. I don't have very many people that come to me from my posts. It's kind of rare that I have somebody that's like, oh, hey, I saw your post. I want to talk to you about this. So Janelle, if it's not through posting alone, what is kind of that third piece when you first get started?
Yes. So I get to talk about messaging, which probably scares some of you guys. It scared me a lot when I got started. Messaging was not something that I did ever. I never used Messenger. I don't even think I had the app on my phone when I started. But like Meredith said, most people, when they see your post, they may think, oh, that's really neat. Oh, maybe I could use that. Oh, that looks like something I may be interested in. But that's as far as it goes. Like, that thought comes and goes. And if, you're a busy mom, or you're, got something going on, it's gone. It's over. So the follow up is truly in the messaging, people. And like Meredith said, you don't have to necessarily message on social media on Messenger. You can do it through text message. You can do it through phone call. You can have a coffee date. You can do whatever feels right for you and that other person. And it may look different person to person, right? So if it's somebody from church, maybe going out for coffee after church, maybe that makes the most sense. Maybe if it's somebody in the carpool line, it makes the most sense to text them when you know they're sitting in carpool line with you. Whatever makes sense to you and that person is kind of how you're going to reach out to them. But messaging just means reaching out to them one-on-one. And really, you just start with who you know. Who is it that if you were selling sand, they would buy it from you just to help you out? Like, who is it? Who would do it? Everybody has 3 or 4 people that no matter what it is, they're going to buy it from you. Who is it? Figure out those people. Your neighbors, your friends, your relatives, kids' friends, church friends. Who are those inner circle people? Usually you can make a list of about 20 or 50 inner circle people that you really know and who would love you and want to support you in whatever you do. So that's where you kind of need to start. Also, you can look at the reactions and the comments in your posting. So as you start posting, you're going to start seeing people giving you hearts, giving you emojis, commenting saying, hey, I'm interested. What is this? What are you doing? Those people can go on your list. So really, it's that simple. And then once you get through your list, that's when you're going to start looking for people on social media. And I'm not talking about like let me friend somebody and in 5 minutes message them. I'm talking about talking to people, getting to know people, reacting to their social media, having them react to your social media, getting to know them and getting to know their pain points so that you can reach out to them in a genuine way and say, hey, I know this would help you because I know X, Y, and Z about you. So that's really what messaging is all about. And I'm going to send you in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and put a message that I really like. That is kind of a first message to people. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that there, and you can copy and paste it or screenshot it. And it just basically says, hey, Sally, I've been trying this natural drink that helps with energy cravings and even weight loss without stimulants and anything artificial. And I just realized that maybe it would benefit you too. There's a sale and a discount, and I couldn't help but think you would love it. It may or may not be for you, and that's okay, but I'd love some accountability. Does this sound like something you'd be open to more info about? So it's just that simple, asking them. And if they say no, no problem. Your job is to ask. Your job is not to get them to do it right away. You have to ask people sometimes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Sometimes you have to wait a year, 2 years. You never know. But your job is to ask. Your job is not to get them to order immediately. And so that's what messaging is all about.
Yay. Thank you, Janelle. That was a hard step for me too, if I'm being honest. Because I had thought, I think I thought that messaging had to look like, hey, buy my pink drink. Right. And that's not what messaging should look like. It should look like, hey, I found something that I love. Like maybe you would love it too. Would you like to talk about it? Right. We call it opening the door, right? But it's this idea of I'm going to start a conversation with you and just ask you if this is what you want. Because here's the deal, y'all. Just in the same way that I needed the pink drink, my friends needed it too. My family, my neighbors, right? My kids, friends, parents, right? Like just like I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, I was surrounded by a whole lot of other people that were also sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it felt selfish to literally have something like in my bag that I could like give them to make them feel better and to not say something. Right? Like if you and I were going out to coffee and I said, oh my goodness, I have a headache, which I don't really get anymore, oh my goodness, I have a headache. And you had Advil in your purse. Like, would you just sit there and not say anything? I hope not, right? I hope that you would be like, hey, like I've got this, you should take it, you would feel better, right? That is how I view this is I found something that I really love. And it may not be for you, but would you be open to talking about it and seeing if it is? Okay. So that's all we're going to go into tonight. It's truly that simple. Okay. The goal is for you to feel comfortable on occasion and to open doors and have conversations with people about Plexus. Now, this last part is really important. And I think all of them actually mentioned it as they were talking. You are not in this alone, right? The friend that invited you to this call, the friend that invited you to try Plexus, guys, we care about you. We care about you more than you can even imagine. You are a big piece of all of our whys because we want to help more people experience the relief that we have found in our health and our families and our finances, right? And so when you say, hey, I want to do this, like we do a happy dance for you because we want to help you. So when you're working on your why, like reach out to your friend, reach out to your sponsor, your coach, your mentor, and say, hey, can we get on the phone and chat about this? Hey, this is what I'm thinking, right? And go back and forth, right? When you're working on a post, if you have a post idea, right, send it and say, hey, what do you think about this post, right? Even if it's not a Plexus post, it could be a personal post, and we will still happily like help you with that. If you need help with messaging, if you need help with opening doors, right, lean on your friend, right? We say that when you, at the beginning, we call it earning while learning, because you truly have the opportunity to earn a significant income while learning how to do this alongside of your friend. Okay. And here's the other cool thing. Whether you are just like, I'm just going to dip my toes in, right? Like, I'm not really ready to run, Meredith. I don't want to quit my job, right? Like, I want to help a few friends. Or you're like off to the races. Like that was how I was, right? Like I was like, I want to be home with my baby, right? Can I make enough money before summer hits that I don't have to go back next year, right? Wherever you are on that spectrum, like there is a place for you here, right? And the reality of it is, it's the same steps, right? If you're just walking, if you're just getting started and you're not running, then you're probably looking at posting a couple times a week, and one of those posts being a Plexus post. Right? We're going to encourage you to send a couple of messages a day, opening new doors, having new conversations, right? If you're like, all right, I'm in it, I'm ready to, I'm not sprinting, but I'm running, right? Maybe we're going to say, hey, let's try to post about 5 times a week, and maybe 2 of those be Plexus. And you send 5 open door messages a day, right? Do you think you could do that? And then we got people that are sprinting and they're like, I'm posting twice a day and I'm messaging all my people and I'm right. Between, you can find the pace that works for you and know that it's really just about the number of conversations that you're having, right? The more conversations that you have, the faster you're going to move and the faster you're going to make more income. The less conversations you have, the slower you're going to move, but you're still a part of this family. You're still a part of this team, and we still want to help you, right? The posting and the messaging go hand in hand. Because when you send that message, guess what? They're already going to have seen your post. And that's why we start with the posting, so that you're not messaging them and they have no idea what they're doing. But the difference between walking and running is the quantity with which you are sending messages and posting. Okay. Lean into your sponsor, ask the questions, right? When I was a teacher, I made a big deal about how much I loved when students ask questions because it shows a desire to learn. I guarantee when I get a question and when your friend gets a question and they're like, yes, right? Erin sends me a question. I'm like, yes, Erin's working today, right? She's trying something new. She's growing. She's learning. I get excited, not annoyed. Okay. So send your friends the questions, let them help you, because we know that there is real money on the table, like real big, significant money on the table, right? You help just 3 friends get started and you're making $300 or more, right? You help 6 friends get started this month, you're making almost $900. Like that is some serious cash flow for you to help your friend feel better the way somebody helped you feel better. So that is where we start. That is where we start. The hardest part is often just to start. So our challenge for you tonight, dig in and think about, why do you want to do this? And dig deeper than just like a number on a check or a number on a bank account. How is that going to change your life when you have that extra income? What are you going to do with that extra $300 this month? What are you going to do with that extra $900 this month, right? Why do you want to do this, right? And then challenge number 2 is, all right, what do you want to post tomorrow? Okay? Do you want to post about what's going on in your life? Or do you want to share a little bit about this Plexus thing? Right? And who do you need to share this with? Who is that inner circle person, right? That Janelle was talking about, that like, you know, they're going to do it with you. Who's the next door neighbor that you like never thought would do it with you, but you feel the Lord put them on your heart, right? That's my story with Janelle. I drove her bananas because God kept saying, Janelle needs this. Janelle needs this. Janelle needs this. And I'm like, okay, God, I don't know why Janelle needs this, but apparently she needs it, right? Do you need to help get started today? There is still lots of time for you to make that $300 or that $900 this month, and we are here to help. Thank you guys so much for being on tonight. I hope you feel encouraged, inspired, motivated, and ready to go and chase those dreams. We are so proud of you guys, and we love you. Have a great night, guys.